You played a lot of baseball, a lot of at-bats, a lot of innings, hours and hours. What's some of your favorite moments?
It's kind of funny because I just have a flash of memories. It's almost like maybe right before you're about to die, and
For sure.
people say I've never experienced that, but that's kind of what just happened. Was just collectively, there's a lot of individual moments where I robbed a home run. I robbed a former teammate at LC State.
That's awesome.
Of a home run in pro ball.
Yeah.
My first professional home run was a day that Jeremy Bonnerman was down rehabbing.
No way.
With us in Michigan, in Grand Rapids.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had a Quiznos sandwich that day. But it's just, like I said, a ton of individual moments, or even moments winning national championships. But I would say my greatest memory is just everything as a whole. Like baseball, for me, everything in my life right now is because of baseball. Everything. I met Michaela because she was a sister of a teammate. My best friends in the whole world from baseball.
Teammates.
Whether playing, coaching, you know, the relationships that I have from former players and stuff. It's all baseball. When I think of baseball, there's not one thing that comes to mind. It's my life.
Yeah.
You know, and I get choked up thinking about it, or thinking about where my life would be without baseball. And that's the case for anybody in life with any of their experiences. When you're passionate about something and something means a lot to you, hopefully it has a lasting impression forever, and nothing but smiles come back to your face when you have those thoughts or those feelings. There's some bad things that happen on a baseball field, bad memories and stuff. But I never think about those. Those aren't the things. I have to be reminded of those things. You puking and stuff, or you know, like I had to be reminded of those bad things. It's all good, and I didn't make it to the big leagues. I used to tell my players all the time that I failed. In my mind, I was a failure, right? But I wasn't, you know, and I don't think about the failures or all of those things. I think about not making it to the big league, just because that's like the pinnacle, you know. That's
for sure.
That's something I wish I could say, but I tell that to people and they're like, but you got drafted and you get to wear that Old English D. And you know, and it's but I have nothing but good to say. I'm not bitter about my career at all. It's all part of my journey, and baseball is the memory.
Did you have any funny superstitions or game day ritual when you played?
Okay, I told you my first professional home run was the day that I ate Quiznos. Guess how much I ate Quiznos the rest of that summer?
Was it a specific sandwich?
Yes, the mesquite chicken toasted. I can still taste it freaking right now, but I can't go to Quiznos and get one anymore.
Oh, they're all gone.
Dude, all kinds of superstitions. I remember one specific tournament when I was playing with the Pepsi Pack. I got this necklace, and it had a baseball and a thing, and I remember I kissed it one time. It did something really good. So dude, I'm not joking, I probably 500 times that rest of that tournament would kiss that stupid necklace. Just dumb, you know. It's almost like I obviously knew it didn't really have anything to do with it, but then if I didn't do it and something bad happened, it was I mean, anybody that's watching knows exactly what that's like. But yeah, that was, trying to think, there's times I had 2 bats, and if I went up and had a poor at bat, I'd switch bats my next at bat. Same thing with batting gloves sometimes. Or my whole career I was a pants up guy.
Oh, there you go.
Pants up. And then playing for the Pepsi Pack one summer, we all had to go pants down, and this is how mental I was, right? I let that affect me. I had a terrible first game or so, and I blamed it on the pants. Just listen, don't be mental like that. Just go out and freaking play the game.
You're a kid, dude. That's understandable. Oh, that's good. All right. So all the kids you've coached, all the teammates you've played, if you could leave advice to a young athlete right now, whether they're high school, minors, middle school, or just a kid dreaming about playing the bigs right now, playing wiffle ball in his backyard, what would that advice be?
Everybody says to have fun all the time. That's true. But if you're really out there working towards your goals, it's not always going to be fun. And so, but you have to do it, right? You have to enjoy the grind. Set goals, and people say realistic goals. Set some non-realistic goals and do everything that you can do to get there. And if you don't, you're going to end up somewhere pretty cool anyway. But enjoy every bit of it, right? I'm not just talking about baseball. We set career goals. We set all kinds of different stuff where we're trying to get to somewhere where we're not. And it's this part of it. Nobody sees this part, right? From here to here. They see people that are really successful. They see people making millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in the big leagues, or a CEO of a company, but they don't see all of the grit and the grind that it took to get there, right? Be willing to do this and enjoy this. And of course, be a really good teammate along the way. Be somebody that years down the road, somebody's going to reach out to you and say, I don't remember a lot of stuff on the baseball field, but I remember who you were and the friend that you were, and maybe one particular thing that you said one time that I don't even remember. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Those are the things that really matter in life.
Yeah.
And so that's the advice.
I always like to highlight this too, man, because there's been a lot of people in my life, I call them heroes. Some of them are alive, some of them aren't, that inspire me, motivate me, and have helped me become who I am. And I consider you one of those people. Who have been some heroes in your life that have shaped you into Brent Wyatt at this age of being young and 40?
I'm pretty much the toughest guy in the entire world. But if you start bringing up stuff like this is the kind of stuff, because these are the things that really matter.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yep.
And there's people in my life that mean a lot to me that I get choked up thinking about. I have heroes when I was a kid. It was always Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I went to a game one time with my dad, and I touched he had an autograph. It was on a ticket booth. And I touched it, and I told my dad, I said, I'm never going to wash my hand again. And he said, son, he's a human being just like you and me. My dad, forever giving me that perspective and instilling those principles and those lessons in life. I've always known he's my hero. I have a lot of them. But ultimately, I don't know if we can talk about it here.
Talk about anything you want, dude.
My Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I try to be more like him every day. And in doing that, right, knowing that he's my ultimate hero and knowing that he knows me and loves me, being able to look around, I can pick out other people that have attributes of him. And those are my heroes, right? People that I want to be like, you being one of them, my wife. They're all around me. In my world, I call those angels. And I'm going to put a little plug in here. My wife and I started a podcast called Angels Among Us, and it's all about that, finding the angels in our life and being able to see God in our life and how he's working in our lives, putting people in our lives at just the right moment. Angels, both seen and unseen. I'm surrounded by them.
I'll tag your guys', I think it was the first episode where you shared your guys' story.
First three.
Yeah. So we won't get to that part in this podcast, but that's a whole nother. That's why I'll just point people to yours, where you get to share your and Michaela's story. Now it's my turn to talk about you, okay? So I alluded to it at the beginning of our time here. I'll never forget it, dude. You probably don't even remember this, you may not. But we were at a practice. I don't know what point of the year it was. I think it might have been fall ball. I'm at Wenatchee. We were in like our little shed where the gator was. And I'm still kind of getting to know you a little bit. At that time, I think it was fall ball because I was still at shortstop. And I don't know what prompted you to do this, but you just reamed me in a positive way of like, dude, you need to start being more of a leader, more vocal. And you just started challenging me. And in that moment, I remember you were on one side of the gator, I was on the other. And I'm just taking it all in. And in my head at the time, I'm like, I took every word you said seriously. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but it did something internally in me in that moment. And I was like, all right, let's get to work. And one of the biggest compliments I think I can give you was playing alongside you. I always felt like we were the best, not like individually, but I was like, I got Brent Wyatt next to me right now. We're good. And you did something to all of us, and you just brought the best out of me. It was just your presence. And that's something that is very unique. And I read a quote recently. He said, 20 years from now, your players aren't going to remember the talks you give them or the tips you gave them in the batting cages. They're going to remember how you made them feel. And when I read that quote recently, dude, I was like kind of convicted because it made me think like, how do I make my players feel? And you made me feel like I could play against anybody for the rest of my life. So I just want to say I love you again without the liquid courage. It's so fun to see the season of life you're in. It's so fun to just see you become, we're grown-ups now, right? I always say...
we used to talk about, hey, when I grow up...
When I grow up, I still say that,
we were 20-something years old.
Yeah, now we're 40. I still tell people, hey, when I grow up, but give me a hug, dude. I freaking love you. I'm proud of you.